live. We're rolling, guys. Greetings from Lisbon. Today we have a very different video on this channel. We're not going to talk too deep about cryptocurrencies, the crypto markets, or hedera or Cosmos. No. Today I have with me Juri, who is one of the co-founders from DeFi Times. And you know, guys, I do a lot of content with them. They also have a podcast, one of the largest DeFi specific podcasts in the world, actually. And every single week, on every Monday morning, Central European time, Juri and I record a podcast which is aired on the DeFi Times podcast that you can access through Spotify and also through Apple Podcasts. That's just a side note. We always talk about projects there. We just recorded one about Ethereum last week, about Bitcoin, before that Matic, before that Compound, Synthetics, all projects that you can imagine. Now, that's not going to be the topic for today. Today, I thought, let's talk a little bit about Portugal and the whole regulatory things. I know a lot of you guys are right now anticipating the next crazy bull run where everyone gets crazy rich. So it makes sense sometimes to optimize your situation, right? So you and I, we just moved to Portugal actually a few weeks ago, and for several reasons, and we wanted to address that. But man, first of all, Juri, how is everything going? How do you enjoy Lisbon so far?
Man, it's a pleasure to be here for sure. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I love Lisbon, man. It's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable, beautiful city, of course. The crypto community is absolutely awesome. We just visited a crypto meetup yesterday, but there are several crypto meetups which take place every single week. So you meet all of the people, and a lot of them actually moved here. And yeah, the food is amazing. The weather is amazing. People are super, super nice. And the living expenses are also not that expensive. So you have to imagine, we are both from Europe, of course, from Germany, and other European capitals such as Berlin, Paris, London are much more expensive than Lisbon. Nonetheless, Lisbon is much cheaper than these capital cities. So I'm absolutely satisfied with my decision. After I moved to Lisbon.
Yeah, and I think I was really surprised how the people live here. It's very relaxed. They're very outgoing. So every day, if you go out on the streets here in Lisbon, there's a bunch of restaurants, a lot of authentic places, and everybody's just outside. Like Portuguese people, they love to just be outside, and they're very social people. But at the same time, it's also not crowded. So you don't have this like New York City lifestyle. We just met a guy yesterday who grew up in New York, and he came here and he's also like, man, this place is so cool. It's so relaxed, so chilled. You know, nothing is crowded. So it's a great place. Plus, Portugal also, I think, is one of the countries, they managed the COVID situation pretty well. So they opened up everything already a few weeks ago. I think months ago, I think. And everything is pretty normal here. But people are still kind of cautious, you know, they're respectful, they respect each other and just take care of each other. So from that side of things, that has also been one of the main reasons why I wanted to come here, besides, of course, the crypto regulation aspect. But also for me, it was important to find a place where I can stay for a bit longer, where there are no strict lockdowns, you know. And there has been a big thing in Germany, obviously, where both of us are from. We had this long lockdown since November, where everything was literally closed. And here it's a bit more relaxed, and it's cool. I love it. I love the lifestyle. I love the vibes. Living expenses, maybe we can start off with that first before we get into crypto stuff. Maybe Juri, you can just share your situation, and also maybe just throw some random numbers, you know, so that people can get a feeling for how much you need to calculate if you want to move to Lisbon.
Yeah, so I love beer, as you maybe know by now, but I love to measure the living expenses by beer, because you know, I mean, beer, you almost get everywhere in the world you get beer, and this is the reason why it's very easy to measure it with that. So if you are in a normal bar or in a normal kiosk in the park, then you pay €1 per 0.2 beer. So they drink like smaller cups of beers, but it's like 0.2 liters for €1. So like a bigger beer, like 0.4 or so, costs like €2. In other German cities, for example, it would be like €3, €3.50. And as you can see, it's slightly cheaper. And I think if you are alone and you find a good apartment, I think you can live with €1,500 in Lisbon. And I believe you will be totally fine with 1,500, even
For everything, you mean?
for everything, okay. Like rent, food, everything. And then it's like a very good life with restaurant visits and so on and so forth. So if you're like a guy who saves a lot of money and be very cautious about your expenses, then you can also easily live with €1,000 per month. Then no restaurants, of course, but with 1,500, you live a very, very, very good life in a capital city in Europe.
Yeah, and I think also at the same time, let's address a little bit the crypto people, because I know a lot of people here that have made a lot of money over the past 6 months, and that is amazing. That's why cryptocurrencies probably are there in the short term to make all of us crazy rich, 10, 20, 100x's. But I think for those guys that want to also live a better, like higher standard, right? I also got myself a very nice apartment here right in the historic old town, city center of Lisbon, which is pretty cool. I literally open the door and I'm right in the center of Lisbon, and I don't need to take cars. I don't need to do anything. I have everything here. It's a kind of like a service apartment as well, which is slightly more expensive, of course. But for those guys who now want to, or already took some profits maybe, and want to find a place where they can stay around for a bit longer, which is what I wanted to do as well. Lisbon is a great place, and like you were saying, if you spend a little bit more, you also get more quality. So I think it's really fairly priced here in terms of living expenses. You can have a nice cafe in a espresso or a cappuccino in a nice cafe spot for €1 or €1.50 or whatever, but it's not overpriced here. Food as well. We literally every week we go once or twice, sometimes 3 times. We go to a very nice seafood restaurant, and you can eat amazing fresh octopus, fish of the days for like €8 or €10. Like it's really affordable. That's really cool and convenient to live, because I'm that guy. I think even if I had 100 million on my bank account, we just talked about this actually on the way here, I don't really like to like overpay for basic things. I think sure, if you have a lot of money and you want to buy something extraordinary, something special, or maybe rent a Lamborghini or Ferrari, sure, they cost more money. But if you just want to have basic stuff, that you're also used to, then Lisbon is a great place because it's not overpriced here. So far, what I've experienced over the past 3 weeks that I'm here now. So yeah, I think living expenses wise, lifestyle wise, you have a really cool environment here. Let's talk a little bit about crypto here. Juri, you just mentioned already the crypto community here is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We just tapped into it a little bit now over the past few days and yesterday with the event. But maybe talk a little bit more about it, also your plans, and maybe I can add also what my plans are, and then we can brainstorm things together.
Yeah, so I think one of the reasons why Lisbon is evolving more and more towards a tech hub and also a crypto hub is also because of the regulatory framework. Because cryptocurrencies are not taxed in Portugal. Like for normal people, for private people, they are not taxed, and that's a great thing. If you're professional, even if you're a professional trader, you just pay like 30% on your crypto gains. And here's the cool thing: if you say, "Hey, I'm a professional trader, so I do this. I just live from my trading gains," then you can say, "Okay, I had this and this life expenses," and then you can put them off your gain. So you can say, "Hey, I had I made a win of 100,000 with crypto gains, but I had life expenses of 20,000." Then you can add those life expenses into your tax declaration. So it's super, super friendly. And that's also the reason, why many innovative people moved here, because it's really easy for European citizens to come here. You have the regulatory certainty, and it's in that sense, that's the reason why many startup people also moved here. And another very important fact is the NHR program. So if you're a startup founder or you do anything innovative in the country, then the government tax you much less. So you do not have a big income tax, even though you may earn like millions of euros. You get like a huge tax discount. So all of these regulatory incentives by the Portuguese government ended in a huge wave of people from all over Europe who came to Portugal. And now everything comes together, because the more innovative people come here, the more people from even abroad from Europe come here. So it's like, it's a domino effect. And that's the reason. I think the regulatory framework was the first step towards this development.
Yeah, and I think Portugal is one of the few countries that have actually officially clarified that, at least for this year, 2021, that they don't impose any tax on crypto gains, right? Like you were saying, if you're a professional trader, it's a bit different. It's up to 30%. But
here's just the thing, that's even much more less than in Germany. In Germany, it's tax of the income tax, and you know how fast you can make money with cryptocurrencies, and you aren't so you have to leave your cryptocurrencies in a wallet for a year. So you shouldn't move them for at least 1 year. After that, it's tax free, but before that, it gets taxed with the income tax. So in Daubt, you pay like 45%, 47% even.
Yeah.
And even if you're here a professional trader, it's like a 17%, up to 17% discount. And you can add the life expenses into your tax declaration. So,
and you can trade without having to worry about taxes, right?
And because, you can stake.
Yeah, you can stake, you can trade. The thing in Germany is that because that's where we are from, that's the most we know in terms of regulatory side of things. And by the way, we're not, of course, any sort of tax advisors. We are just random crypto guys on the internet that just share some insights here. But in Germany, the thing is that there's not much regulatory certainty, right? So it's all still kind of like in a gray zone. Nobody knows how to really tax airdrops, stake drops, staking rewards, all those kinds of things, yield farming, liquidity provision, right? And here in Portugal, at least from what we've been told, right? We just got here, obviously, and had some meetings with tax advisors and professionals, but is that it's all under one umbrella, right? So crypto gains is crypto gains, and you're not taxed on them unless you're a professional trader, and then you're taxed with 30%. And how I understand it here is that you are counted as a professional trader. Obviously, one, if you trade professionally, right? If you're like a day trader and chart analyst, or, and that's also one thing that maybe is kind of like you really need to, be conscious about. For example, if you would have no income, right? If you would have no income at all outside of crypto, and then you would make $1 million with cryptocurrencies, and you would want to come here and cash out everything in one transaction, right? Then the tax authorities might also consider this as a professional trade. So there's like some things that, obviously the Portuguese tax authorities, they also want to make money, right? They don't want to like give everything away for free and not participate in that. But if you play it smart, and if you're not exaggerating, and go to the limits and stretch to the limits of the legal framework here, I think you're gonna do well. So yeah, so I think the point of this video is to maybe share some firsthand insights on ground here, what's going on, what we've learned so far, just documenting this journey as well. Again, no sort of financial advice, tax advice, or anything the like, but maybe also we can help you to start your own research and your own due diligence from. If you're an American citizen, I know a lot of my viewers are Americans. This doesn't apply because you guys are wrecked by the IRS, unfortunately. But I think there's one thing from what I've heard about Americans that move here is that they have the chance to apply for the golden visa. So this is something that you guys might check on, research on. if you thought about moving here, check out on Google the golden visa status, and I think that's something that might be interesting, where you could also optimize your taxes. But yeah, other than that, like you were saying, Lisbon is evolving into a crypto hub. There's a lot of people moving here, still coming here. Also, a lot of our friends that are active in crypto. So yeah, all in all, it's a great place, great lifestyle. Now it's summer here, so the weather is absolutely amazing. The beach is just around the corner, 20 minutes, 30 minutes away from the city center of Lisbon, which is amazing. So all in all, I'm really, really happy to be here. Yeah, I don't know, maybe you can share some final words, Juri, or some final thoughts, and then we can wrap it up. And hopefully, guys, if you have questions for the next one, we can do this every month. Maybe we can live stream it sometimes with other friends here that have also maybe more knowledge. But yeah, I think that's a cool thing.
Yeah, and what I also, one last thing I wanted to share is, if you are in Portugal and you want to get taxed in Portugal, of course you have to stay here for at least 6 months. So for the longest time of the year, you have to be a citizen in Portugal. But the cool thing is, Portugal is much, much more than just Lisbon. You have Porto, you have the Algarve, you have the Azores, you have Madeira. So even if you are here in Lisbon, you can say, oh, I do not want to see Lisbon anymore. I want to see something new. Hey man, this country is so amazing. There's so many hidden gems, so many places. Spain is also not far. Of course, then you are out of the country, but you can be like 1 year just in Portugal and just travel around, and it's like it will feel like a world journey or so.
Yeah, and also final thing from my side, adding to this 183-day rule that you must be here in Portugal. It also means that you need to have an apartment here, means that you need to have a contract. You can't just live in a hotel, you need to have a contract. And in order to make a contract here, a renting contract, and become a real tenant here, you also need to have an what's called the NIF number. So that number is basically your tax ID, your tax number. But it's really, really easy to get. It took me 3-4 days, and I already got my tax number, made the apartment contract, and boom, it's done. So it's really simple to set up, nothing wild. The NHR thing, what Juri mentioned earlier, is then the next step. This is also something, as we are doing that eventually, we also can make another video about that and how that process goes. And yeah, also if you're running a company, or if you're a content creator like I am, or just have some kind of like revenue, some business model or revenue that you're generating in crypto, not simply by investing in coins, but also within the industry, or have your own startup, Portugal is also very friendly. Lisbon, they have also special tax rates because they want to turn this, the government and the tax offices, like they want to turn crypto also, Portugal also in a more innovative space for entrepreneurs and more friendly for business startups and those kind of things. I think Madeira, that's what I've been told, is even better. But that's like a different part, right? They're more friendly even for startups and entrepreneurs. But Portugal itself is already, or Lisbon is already great by itself. So yeah, maybe some thoughts for you to resonate with. And yeah, if you like that video, that type of content, which is completely different, but it also deals with crypto in a sense, then subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also go over to the DeFi Times podcast on Spotify and on Apple, and subscribe to their podcast. Check out their daily episodes, literally daily episodes, which is absolutely crazy. Also, they have a newsletter that is going out a lot. And YouTube channel now, active on Twitter, everything that you want and need. So thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys the next time. Stay safe and be good.
Bye-bye. It was a pleasure.